are live. What a beautiful time to be alive. A play on words. Live on Instagram, live on the tube. What's up, tube? Live on Facebook, LinkedIn, X. There is such a thing. If it exists, and I don't believe that it does. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the Daily Sigh. Today's Friday, April 17th. If you don't know who I am, my name is Qasim. I'm a entrepreneur who's desperate for attention. And so I go live every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern. And to the very best of my abilities, I help you stay up to date with what actually matters across business, AI, markets, policy. And then we mastermind. And the mastermind part is free. All you have to do is join. So you can go to dailysigh.ai to join the live call and join my free forever community. Um, You can also subscribe. Go to dailyside.ai if you want these calls summarized and sent directly to your inbox. Let's get into the news from PitchBook. If you're not subscribing to PitchBook, by the way, it's worth it. Um, Distress swells in software sector amid AI disruption. Hashtag shocker. Leveraged loans in the software sector are hitting distress status at a surging rate as investors lose confidence in legacy SaaS models. This represents a funding immune response to AI capitals actively fleeing companies that have not fundamentally re-architected for an automated world. For the adaptive founder, this is a massive opportunity to acquire market shares. Competitors are starved of the capital needed to pivot. The SaaS apocalypse is moving from the theoretical threat to a balance sheet reality. It's interesting. I hadn't really thought of that, but a lot of these folks have these revolving lines of credit that can be pulled anytime. And that's more or less how they're building their business. And for a long, long time, that liquidity was very readily available because they're all worth 30x. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It also makes me think that there's going to be a lot of deals to be had. A lot of these businesses still have the fundamental reality of the business is still sound in terms of value. Um, and if you can buy them for pennies on the dollar, the parts could be worth a whole lot more than you pay for the whole company. If you know how to do that. I don't. So I'm going to stick to my knitting. From Anthropic releases Claude Opus 4.7 with enterprise agentic performance. The new flagship model delivers a 14% improvement in multi-step reasoning and massive reduction in tool use errors, so they say, specifically designed for long-running autonomous workflows. Would be interested, counsel, if anybody's used Anthropic's new Opus 4.7. And if so, what you think? Are they telling the truth here? The pricing remains stable at $5 per million tokens. Is that right? It's not what I pay. Allowing founders to swap in significantly higher intelligence for complex 15% tasks without bloating margins. Okay. From UC Today, Canva AI 2.0 transforms design tool into workforce automation platform. This to me feels short-sighted. Canva's shift to agentic system allows for end-to-end design execution from a single prompt, automating roles previously held by copywriters, designers, and strategists. Here's the problem. I have to imagine 51% or more of Canva's customer base is agencies. And so building agentic tools kills agencies. And maybe that's okay. Maybe what Canva realizes is it's better you than me. And I'd rather have 49% of my customers than no customers at all or be um, I don't know, to die. So I'd be interested in having that conversation with anybody who wants to. From TechCrunch, VC's pivot to AI native development. Factory hits $1.5 billion valuation. While old software models face a credit crunch, billions are flowing into startups like Factory that build AI coding tools for enterprise. Capital's not leaving software. Yes, it is. Stop it, TechCrunch. It's reallocating toward the infrastructure of the next era. So funny. Some backup stories from Stripe. Stripe co-founder shifts focus to long-term AI strategy, obviously. John Collison is moving to an advisory role to focus purely on autonomous finance tools. Major platforms are signaling that autonomous finance is the next massive layer, obviously. Thank you for telling us what we already know. From Industry Report, B2B subscription churn rate increases 10% in Q1. It's, it's more than that. Come on. From Reddit, founder kills profitable 180K ARR startup to pivot to AI cowork. That's not a story. And from Google Workspace rolls out auto summarize for SMBs. This is interesting. New Gemini powered features condense long email and document threads directly within Workspace. I've seen that happening. Standard productivity gains are being baked into the core operating system, devaluing third-party summary apps. That is interesting. All of the core tools, of which there are a dozen, are eating all of the ancillary tools, of which there are thousands. And I think we're only going to continue to see that trend. If this was helpful to you and you want the news summarized directly in your inbox, go to dailysigh.ai. If you want to join us live for a live mastermind with some of the smartest minds on the internet, go to dailysigh.ai, click the join live button, join my free forever community, come hang out with me in the council. Speaking of, what a beautiful, well-timed pivot. Council, thank you for being here. I see Jason, Brandon, Deborah, Clinton, Larkin, Grant, Dylan, Mindshift Mentors, Cole. Who am I missing? Larkin already said. Jacob. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all being here. Cole, is this your first time on the call?
Yes, it is. I do some work with Elliot in the space, and he had me jump on today. Thanks for having
Nice,
me.
man. Yeah, thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit more about you. What do you do?
Yeah, a little bit about me. I work in the decentralized physical infrastructure space, mostly focused on the telecom industry, and some different facets within there. But yeah, that's just a little quick bit about me. But I'd love to dive a little bit deeper at another time.
Love it, man. I'm glad you're here. Elliot, thanks for bringing him. And Council, how do y'all feel about what was the thing that I wanted to ask you guys about? Hold on. There was one story here that I was like, oh, Anthropic, the Cloud Opus 4.7. Does anybody play with that? Is that for real? Everybody's saying yes. Yes, it is. Is it agentic? Because people keep throwing that word around, and then I play with it, and I'm like, that's not agentic.
I don't think it's much different than 4.6.
Yeah. Thank you, Dylan. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
I wa
What did I not touch on? What news stories did I miss? What were you say, Dylan?
I watched a YouTube video. It told me how to feel about it.
Oh, bro, that's my life. That's what YouTube's for.
The developer I follow, who's Anthropic hater, um, he played with it for 12 hours or so, which is longer than I have. And he said it's very unusual. And he showed a bunch of tweets of other people saying the same thing, that like you do one thing and it it solves this bug you've had for months that you couldn't nail down, and then the very next time it does the dumbest thing you've ever seen. Like he speculated that they raised the ceiling and that also raised the floor. So there's like
Hmm.
capable of doing better things but less consistent. Uh yeah, I don't have much specific to say about it, but I'm not blown away, and I'm also haven't been let down.
Yeah. Neutral. Grant?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty much exactly what I was expecting. Just like there's like that theory that they made 4.6 a little bit dumber in the past few weeks, so then the 4.7 was gonna like impress everybody,
Hmm.
but it's marginally better.
This guy had an interesting theory on that. So he said that there are people who track the effectiveness of the models to determine if they are getting worse, and that it was not. He thinks it's Claude Code that's getting worse, and that he thinks that they are like vibe coding themselves into a corner, and that they're trying to push stuff out so fast that it's the same thing that happens to other vibe coders is now happening to them. Uh, and that they're like everyone there are researchers. They're not like software architects I mean, I'm sure they have software engineers, but like they were started as a research organization and are primarily focused on research.
Hmm. That's such a beautiful point, dude. It's like you're not building to execute on specific tasks or projects. You're building to execute on something that might allow for builders or executors to build. So they're almost too conceptual just in their own positioning.
They are also testing out safeguards for Mythos on it,
Hmm.
and they're incredibly sensitive. And I don't think anyone in here will run into them because you're not like asking anything that could look like you are creating malware. But
Oh no, I am. I got
yeah.
yeah. The last thing I tried to do it driven, everybody got the same error. They're like, this looks like prompt injection. Somebody's trying to take over your computer. So yeah, I'm seeing that it's getting a lot more strict recently.
They said that it interprets rules more, or it interprets instructions more literally than 4.6 did. And so a lot of things like harnesses don't work well with it, including Claude Code.
Mm.
The Claude Code is not equipped to prompt 4.7 yet, and they've been pushing out updates for it, but like it's I didn't jump on it right away. I had to like try kind of hard to get it into my UI to actually be able to select it. And you can't ask Claude about it because it doesn't know it exists.
That's interesting. I'm looking at chat now. Brandon says Canva's biggest user base is actually everyday creators and students. I had no idea. Non-design professionals. I would assumed it was all agencies. I guess they know better than I do.
I
Brandon,
thought it
tell
was
me about Claude.ai/design. What is that? I'm looking at it. What does
the
it
new
do?
design tool they just loaded out, and I shared a video link I watched on it. Just dropped within a few hours, and it looked pretty sweet. And it's, I guess you got to go to, Claude.ai-design to use it versus inside the chat window. But from doing full design mobile apps, uh, chatting within in the document, be able to draw and comment and annotate on the design to get it to do updates on it as well. Look pretty slick.
Wow, dude, I'm looking at the examples. Oh my good golly.
Yeah.
I wonder why they're doing this like web first rollout
What do
instead
you
of
mean?
just dropping these new features in like desktop. Like both routines and design were kind of like this special URL they had to get to.
What was routines? I don't remember that.
That was like the Zapier make uh
Oh yeah.
that like version control that they did.
What would the purpose of a web first be? Is that just better for marketing and adoption?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I mean, wonder if
Yeah,
you could just track like this.
I think it's easier to keep compatible with Chrome, which works on all
everything.
operating systems, than it
Yeah.
is to make a desktop application that works on Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 7, whatever versioning Mac has, every Linux distribution under the sun.
Yeah, I think you just won right there. That's the exact right answer, isn't it? Dude, these examples are unreal. So if you're watching this live, you can go to claude.ai/design. And then some of what they're doing here, like the text streaming is super cool. I can't scroll on this stupid thing. This is awesome. Look at this. Text particle effects. All of a sudden it stopped moving. There you go. That is amazing. Uh, iridescent card. And then the coolest one, cosmic scale animation. That's super cool. Dude, are you freaking kidding me? Global loader.
Yeah, from his reaction, I think Jacob has his hand up and has been playing around with this probably. But
Oh shit, Jacob, I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention. Calculator construction kit. Look at this. This is so good. Jacob, what input do you have on this? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, there we go. I think this is another use case like Notebook LM. I think a lot of people are going to get really excited for building apps and stuff like that, but unless you're like a designer, I don't think that's the way to use it. I think because you can already do these things in Lovable or Bolts if you really need to, because it has back end as well. But I'm seeing more of a use case like one-off scenarios. Like for me, instantly, I was like, okay, if this can build an interface, I want to see exactly how all my folders are structured. So you
Mm.
can take your folder and upload it into there, and it builds a dashboard based off of that. So I have a better visual understanding of what's happening. Because now at this point, now I have over 100 items in my folder, and it's kind of hard to keep up with at times. So I'm seeing more use cases for that. if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You said something I thought there's a lot of wisdom wrapped around into as well, which is so many of these features that we're seeing released already existed, but they existed inside of just this, it's like this infinite bubble of you can do anything. You brought up James Cameron yesterday, where Cameron was like, it's harder, not easier to have all the options. And so when they take a wrapper and they put a box around it and say, hey, you can make a calculator, it's like you've been able to make a calculator this whole time, but having the wrapper puts us in a position of, more focused intent. Um, it's like AI, the limitation to AI starts with our limitation and creativity. And then the wrappers are going to be what puts them in a position of coaching us as to how to use it. And on a long enough timeline, they're just going to get rid of us and then they're going to use it. Um, yeah.
I think they did it because it was Claude's way to kind of step into better design where they had been lacking behind the others.
Yeah.
So that's, they weren't really design first motivated.
I'll just say last words here on this topic, just for us. I think it's for them, it's great because they're going to make more money and make it more usable for users. But I think it creates a lot of distraction for us because I'm very distraction prone. I think that unless you really, 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 really need to build something there, that you probably shouldn't use it.
Mm.
Because at this point now, instead of focusing on like, and trust me, I got super excited because I'm like, it became a capability, but it did not become I have to use this type of thing. So I got excited over that. But at this point, I'm thinking, okay, it's better to build out the workflows and get the basics down and then see all of these infinite tools, how they could fit into that. So instead of chasing tools, which there are endless ones and there are endless rabbit holes we could go down, it's like, let me just build out a wireframe of what I'm trying to get from A to B, and then what tools can I fit into there. That's what makes me the most excited because now I have options. I have a lot of options, but those options need to fit what I'm already trying to do. Because if we're just building calculators, well, we're not really being very productive. So,
Yeah, I just talked to Yvonne about this morning on our delegation mastermind. I don't think founders should be learning AI. It doesn't make sense. It's because no matter how fast or how well I learn it, it's always going to outrun me. I think what founders should be doing is there should be and I realize everybody on this call is kind of playing a different role. So my advice it's not cross-platform applicable, right? So take what works for you and leave what doesn't. I think founders should be reaching with both hands. And to be honest with you, this is what the trillion-dollar companies are doing. They're paying Meta paid $100 million signing bonus for the right person. Founders should be on a desperate mad dash for extraordinary talent. That's what a founder should be doing. They should be trying to get as much extraordinary talent under their umbrella as they can and having honestly as limited a constraint as is possible around that talent to the point to where the conversation we had this morning was I'm not even going to tell you the idea. I'm just going to tell you the traffic that's available to you and I'm going to tell you to go monetize that traffic and then I'm going to tell you that you're going to participate in the profitability of that monetization. And if I bring on 10 people and 9 of them fail, that one person just bought me a 7-figure business or 8-figure business or 9-figure business. So I don't think that AI as a founder, I don't think AI is the unlock. I think people are the unlock and at the risk of sounding obnoxious because most people aren't founders. They're not going to build a business. They're actually waiting around to be put underneath somebody's umbrella. So that's a strong opinion, loosely held, maybe. Elliot, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've been playing around with core design this morning. I think is that I'm usually one to underemphasize the importance of things, but I actually think especially for industries that I touch, it's huge, right? I mean investment banking, M&A, like the industries live on these giant decks that you essentially have your boys working on 20 hours a day to their detriment. I really like that it's Anthropic that's brought this out, but I think the craziest thing is like the universal importers they're starting to build, like Figma, these other platforms. It's just like, man, I would not want to be those guys right now. I think this is actually, it may seem simple, but I really think this is one of the biggest things they've released.
That's
I
a
don't care
really
about any of the
interesting.
effects or anything. I think it's the mass editing of decks and having that resource to produce them so quickly, um, integrated into, as far as I'm concerned, the best performing models right now with this tool. I think it's just going to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Figma thing, dude, was a really interesting point. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, it cascades into kind of the functional design, wireframing, which means it just lets them eat more after that. Like once you get the wireframe, then you get the mock-up, and once you get the mock-up, then you get the draft, and once you get the draft, then you blah blah. I don't know the words, but you're inserting yourself at the beginning of what ends up just being this game of Pac-Man where they just get to keep going. That's such a good point. Clinton, you had your hand up.
Uh, yeah, at the risk of quoting you,
Bro, I love that's how you get kudos and
well,
props on this
well,
show. Go ahead,
well, there
Clinton.
you go, there
Everybody
you go.
listen up.
Oh, no pressure. So, I think you said that AI is a force multiplier.
Right. And we need more force.
So, yeah, so without the miracles, you're just multiplying by zero. And you need the miracle of the person in every case. So what you apply to that person is up to you, but you can't multiply from anything but one.
Hmm.
So, I just want to reinforce that point.
I appreciate that a lot, man. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with me more, I guess. Um, I also think that there's like people's minds are structured differently. Like I have the hardest time. I kind of start to get it when y'all talk all your shit. You know, like when Dylan's going at Jacob and Grant's chiming in, like I'm like I'm understanding what you're saying. And there's a piece of me that have you ever seen those memes like the Hello Darkness My Old Friend? It just starts to zoom out. And you know, like that's how I feel. I'm just like, man, these guys are just so much smarter than me. And I have my own little brand of genius, which is once I know that that's possible, I get to take that and do what I do, which is like I can connect some of the macro dots in a way that's helpful and makes money. And I think I just need to stay there because the more I try to understand the granularities, the more it pulls me out of where I want to be. And you need both. You need both, right? So I hope I didn't just say anything that felt or sounded like I was positioning mine above because it's not. But it is, I think it is it's zoomed out in terms of how you look and how you see. I need 50,000 foot view. That's what's helpful for me. And then some people need to be at like 50,000 degree magnification. Um, and I think you have to know who you are. Because if you're a 50,000 foot view person thinking you need to understand the 50,000 degree magnification, I think that's when you're going to get really, really exhausted. Brandon, your hands up.
Different topic, not about this one. Previously, I shared with everybody a custom GPT that reviewed your content on your webpage. It's been updated now. I just shared the link in the group for everybody. I also shared it on the site. It's been updated. My friend Alex Meyerhands, who is a wicked smart SEO, put together very strong. Now, all you have to do is share your web link for your live page if it's been out there for a while, or you can add and upload your content on it. So it does it for Google's quality guidelines, EAT, AI, and LLM citations. And so it's just going to score your page and give recommendations. You can have a chat about it. Um, just really incredibly smart. Really helps with getting that page closer and closer to page one.
I need your help, dude. This is just me asking for something very self-interested, and we might take the conversation offline. But in my AEO agency, which is going amazing, by the way, um, we have an SEO gap, and we're about to hire a freelancer. We need topical map creation. So like, do you know who Corey is?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to hire somebody who does what that guy teaches.
Yeah.
Do you have someone like that?
I will look. Um, I will look.
The topical authority framework is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Yeah.
ever, you ever think about putting all those videos into a notebook LLM?
Well, I actually think we've done it. I think we've,
Yeah.
but it's still like there's a little chasm between that and actually doing it across thousands of pages on e-commerce websites. Or at least for us. So if somebody has a solution for me, I'm a paying customer. If somebody has a referral for me, please hit me up in Messenger or wherever it is that you happen to see me. The school community, I actually I'm decent at checking those messages. So just go to dailysigh.ai to join the free forever community and you can hit me up inside of school. But that's
There's a
what we're
guy
looking
named
for right now.
Nathan Gotch. Are you familiar with him?
No, what's his name? Nathan
Gotch.
Dotch.
Yeah, GOTCH.
Gotch.
Yeah, he's out of St. Louis. Gotch SEO,
There we go.
or NathanGotch.com.
Got him. Thank you.
US based. Um, Cray is, I guess, he plays around in the black hat side too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
dips, which you need. You need somebody who knows both sides and tells you here's how to land in the middle.
Yeah.
He also like he said he has a like a done for you thing, but he's so booked out that it doesn't make any damn sense. Uh,
Yeah. Nathan's really solid in that and very stand up.
yeah, I wonder if Nathan would play train the trainer for me.
He's been building one of his own tools as well, one of his own AI tools in there. Rankability.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Track and improve your visibility in AI search.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put this in front of Julian. Y'all, I'm about to own the AEO space. Y'all don't even know. We've cracked the code on some levels that are really, I'll share what I have when we have something that's definitive, but it looks really, really promising. Neil just said something that's worth saying out loud. Uh, Black hat is entirely subjective. There's no such thing as black hat, is what I say. Because if you look at the terms of service of all of these utilities, it's a violation of the terms of service to impact their ranking in any way. So all optimization is black hat. And the question is like, what's your threshold of pain or risk? Jacob, you've got your hand up?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I know you say that we're a lot smarter in these situations, but you're extremely good at working with people and talking to people, which is one of the most valuable skills you could have. I've thought back like when I've worked with big crews before and things didn't go well. I was thinking, what could I have done differently to lead them and guide them in a certain way? Because it can get frustrating because you're like, well, I wish people could just do what I was thinking that they would do. Like, I've heard that common sense is only common if it's common to you, right? And some people just don't have it. And so being able to work with people and influence people to go in a certain direction is a superpower, I think. So I think it's good there. But I was also on another note, I was thinking back with all of this stuff coming in, and this is something we mentioned a couple weeks ago about building like a third brain, and that's something that I'm putting on my to-do list today. Is that and a couple other things action list. Is because I thought about it. I'm like, well, my grandpa, he was born in 1937, and so in the 50s. The criteria was pretty simple back then. Get a job, provide for your family, and that was it. You're a good person. But back then, there wasn't this epidemic of always trying to perpetually learn. There was a lot more action, and you also had to pay for things. Like if you wanted to learn something, you had to pay for it. Where now it's like I can endlessly learn, and I think everything should be free. Why is
Yeah.
right? But what I realized is my grandpa had to fight harder to find good information, and now we have to fight harder to filter out bad information. So it's like it's
Wow.
flipped. And
Wait,
so
wait,
I'm
wait, wait,
thinking,
wait. Clinton, that's going on delusions of insight, dude. That was really, really good.
oh, dude, two in
Take
one
it. That's
week.
your second one. Yeah, you're really good at this shit, dude.
So I'm like, okay, well, so let's say, what if we just took somebody like John D. Rockefeller and we just teleported him to today? Boom, here you go.
Yeah.
All right, do your business. What would he do? And I think he would make the most simple things ever and then use all of these tools to execute them. To whereas like I'm finding myself in a trap of doing it backwards. I'm trying to take all these tools and just build stuff out, kind of hoping it connects together, but no real like workflow, if you know what I'm saying. I heard Alex Hormozy say that yesterday on a video. He said that workflows are going to be the future. And I'm like, yeah, I need to be building workflows and then taking all of these amazing, super powerful tools that are exciting and then plug them into there. So hope that helps.
That really does help. Um, I agree with you on the work. Well, I guess I agree with Alex on the workflows front. Um, people need formulas. They need, that's why I teach in frameworks. And I think once you've kind of figured out like, oh, this, then this, then this, then that, like that's so cross compatible across so many industries that it ends up being really, really pleasantly surprising. That was great input. Mindshift mentors, who are you again? I don't see your face. Is it Steve?
Yeah, sorry, mate. I just turned it on, Steve.
Oh, you're good. Steve, I'm glad you're here, dude. Steve says, I'm not sure if I can ask in this forum. You absolutely can. We're here to mastermind. So I'm going to read this and then you buttress it. I want to talk about a new course we've created for families with ADHD children. It has community and two creators. I'm looking for marketing help and possible partners to take a healthy 30% cut. Is there more there before we start diving in?
Yeah, so our business is Mindshift Mentors, and we do cognitive pattern reprogramming. And so two programs we're working on now is ADHD for late diagnosed women, and then surviving morning wars for families with kids that have ADHD, because I'm certain there's probably some in this group that have that, and it's quite a challenging time. So we've teamed up with our clinician who does the CPR recordings, cognitive pattern reprogramming, and then we've got a martial arts dude who's been training ASD and ADHD kids in his gym for years. So we've got movement exercises as well as the sessions we've created. So we're looking for people to. I'm looking for marketing people that really want to come on. I just don't want to go and pay a marketing company and spend a shitload on ad spend. I'd rather try and find some partners that want to come on and put their money where their mouth is, I suppose, and show us what they can generate with us, and take this thing as far as we can, because it's such a big issue, and it's sort of unique in that we've got the movement exercises as well as our clinical sort of sessions, and it helps and changes lives. And that's, I thought I'd put it out here because you guys are all so far advanced in the AI world, and know so much. And yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you know Donna Kay just by chance?
No.
ADHD Thrive Institute.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in my mastermind for a long time, her and her sister. Um, that might be a good connection for you. She's got I forgot her list size, I know is in the six figures. It might be in the millions. And she's a beautiful human. I love her a lot. I don't know if she's just a competitor or if she's potentially a strategic partner, but I know she's always looking for other options and opportunities to serve her audience. So, happy to make an introduction there. Do me a favor, message me, Steve, your email, and
Yep.
I'll send an email to Donna asking for permission to make the introduction because I
Yeah,
don't
for
want to put her on
sure.
the spot. Um, and
I
then if
actually
there's,
find that the influencers, we've got a couple of high volume influencers on Instagram that are all about ADHD, and they're all open to alternatives because not everything works for everyone.
yeah, well, she has her own offering too. So I just want to make sure that your
Yeah,
offering
I
doesn't
understand.
conflict with hers. But I'm going to
Understand.
send her, do you have a website?
Yep. Mindshiftmentors.com.
Okay. Easy breezy. Mindshift Mentors. That's a great name, dude. I love that a lot. I'm going to poke at your ask a little bit with love and respect. People used to come to us at Solutions 8 all the time with performance-based options and opportunities, saying exactly that. Like, if you're any good, put your money where your mouth is. And that's not an inadequate request. But my response was always a little maybe caustic. I bring more value than you do.
Yeah.
Because if you can move the traffic, so your 30-70 needs to split. If you want to play that game, that's fine. I take 70 though. And
Yeah.
and the reason for that is something Jacob just said, which is the information's more or less free. Now, that's not to say your information isn't more valuable, better, longer lasting, et cetera, et
Understand.
cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. But nobody knows that from a marketing perspective. And you'll see
Yeah.
this with the ClickBank crowd. The ClickBank folks they're the affiliate marketers and dude, they move mountains. And they sell like garbage, like crystals that cure cancer bullshit.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're they go after the big lick. So if you get somebody who does something performance based, it's not impossible, but you got to put a lot on the table. And you see that with like high level. High level gave 40% of the gross recurring for life. I cash a $40,000 check every month from Go High Level.
Mm.
Me and my business partner John Moran, and we haven't done anything from a COGS perspective for at least 3 years. So that's 40 grand net to me.
Yeah.
Um, so the affiliate thing or the participation play, it's absolutely on the table. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to anybody who because a lot of people are like, hey, if you're a good marketer, and it's like, yes, and I'm building equity in a mechanism that you own. Why would I do that unless I own the mechanism or you're giving me way more on the front end? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the better thing to do would be to look for influencers that don't know how to monetize their audience, which I mentioned this yesterday. I had a conversation with Austin Armstrong, who's a freaking brilliant marketer, tens of millions of followers at this point. And he has access to all these influencer networks where you only get access if you have seven-figure followings or higher. And the
Yeah.
thing they all talk about is none of them know how to monetize their audience. So
Yeah.
go get your hooks into somebody like that, or pre-existing pools of micro traffic. So, dude, every PTA in the freaking world has this conversation and this problem. Go reach out to them, even if it's just 10 parents at a time. It's not a scalable model, but I bet you it's profitable. What are you
Mm.
charging right now for your course?
There's a founder's rate of $299. That's going to go to 500, and that gives them 3 months access to the community, and that's where Cole, the trainer, and our clinician Rob will be in there. So they'll have question and answers. They'll have guest speakers in. So the idea is that we're building more than just a course that you can download off online. It's a community which people need and want,
Yeah.
and that's the structure of it.
Can I just play with this further and then take it?
Yeah, please.
I think the community should be free forever.
Yeah.
That's the game that I'm playing. Here's what's really interesting, just from my perspective, and I'm stealing from, people much smarter than me. Um, I think I'll use a book as an easier thing to pick on. If you look at a business book, not a fictional book, but if you look at a business book, uh, if somebody's willing to spend approximately 8 hours indoctrinating themselves to my way of thinking, putting me in a position to earn their trust, and then ultimately putting me in a position to sell them more, why would I put a $20 gate in front of that? Why wouldn't I
Yeah.
be like, hey man, here's my book? And if you want to spend even more time talking to me, hearing my voice, seeing my face, hanging out with my friends, listening to people quote me, why would I be like, hey, give me $50 a month or $7 a month or whatever it is that all the schoolers are charging?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
just feel like the community is this center. It's, I talk about we lost the campfire long ago. If you put people in the community, the cool thing about community is they'll teach you how to sell them. Everybody on this call is teaching me how to sell to them
Mm.
on a long enough timeline, and when it happens, they'll be grateful. They'll be like, oh God, thank God somebody did that. So I
Yeah.
think this, and I don't know that anybody's doing this in this space. As a matter of fact, everybody on this call, I think, should have a free forever community. And the
Mm.
smaller the niche, the better. I tell this story often. I had a $400,000 to $500,000 net to me profit business to the bottom line, y'all. I'll share my tax returns. I swear to God. I'll do a Lloyd's of London audit for
Yeah.
8 years on 20 minutes a week because I built a community for Montessori schools, which adjusted for margin of error, there are none. There's 3,500 accredited Montessori schools in the United States. That's zero. And yet it ended up being this extraordinarily powerful business because I just built a free community. So anyway, I got a little soapboxy dude, but I'd turn the community free. It's ready, fire, aim at that point. Pay attention to, and the free version can be basic. Like there could be ascended versions of the community, right? To where you actually do get to monetize. And I'd be really interested if people take that course. My experience now is people don't take courses, they summarize them, and then they don't read the summaries. So
Mm.
what is it that they really want? Like they might want something a little bit more than just coursework. Have I said anything that offends you or that you want to argue with?
No, not at all. I think, is this something that your company does do, like partner up like that? Are you out of the marketing now, or
I don't do any marketing any longer
no,
from that
no,
perspective. No.
no.
I can point you to a bunch of people. Some of them are on this call. Feel free to message Steve if you have marketing ideas or, you tell me your threshold for paying there, Steve. I can tell you
Yeah,
who
look,
runs my personal traffic.
I'm definitely open to a bigger split. You know what I mean, as well, if we can find the right team, that's for sure. Because I
Yeah.
know I can see the value of someone like that and what it can bring to our business. Because then there's more to come down the track,
Yeah.
more programs and so on.
You got to go higher ticket if you want to do participation. Because for $300, even if I got 50%, like $150,
Yeah.
I need meat on the bone in order to play. So go
Yeah.
find a high ticket offer too. Because dude, especially with parents, if you really can solve a problem, there's a parent out there that'll pay you 100 grand.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'm one of them. I'm paying, what am I paying right now? My son's going to neurofeedback training and I think it's $200 a session and he has to go to 60 sessions to start. And I'm like, obviously that yes to that because it helps him. And I see he's kind of tizzy and he's got all these weird little ticks and I see the ticks decreasing every time we go.
Mm.
So I'm like, sign me up 1,000 times and they could charge me double. They don't know that.
Mm. How old is he?
He's 10.
Yeah. Does he sleep all right?
No.
I want to send you a recording.
Yeah, fire it off, man. I'd love to
Yeah.
summarize it.
So I'll put my email in this chat.
Yeah, do that. Let's help Steve as much as we can. Appreciate you being a hot seat, man. I want to do as many hot seats as we can. I think that they're super
Mm.
valuable. So thank you for being
I,
brave. I know that's hard.
and I know this group's full of probably a lot of ADHD brains. Like I know that I'm one of
How
them. I
dare
do
you, Steve?
the superpowers.
Yeah,
But
no, I don't think there's one of us that doesn't have it, to be honest with you. But yeah,
I've
far be it for me
actually
to make accusations.
I got home from a walk the other morning and rang my partner, who's the clinician in this. I said, "You need to make a session for a busy entrepreneurial business brain that can't get back to sleep at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m." So I've got one there, and I'm actually going to share it with you guys. I'll put it in a link to share out with this community, because I just want to show you that you can really use this tool to actually sleep better, because I was hopeless before. So
That's great, dude. So what you just said too, just from a marketing perspective, by the way, the messaging switch right there, brilliant and beautiful. If you say ADHD, there's first of all, there's baggage, right? There's every teacher I've ever had poking me with the same stick that's now in your hand.
yeah,
And then there's a clinical diagnosis and a question as to where is he going. But if you say, hey, do you want to sleep better? Sign me up. Nobody buys
yeah,
a drill, they buy a hole. ADHD that's a drill discussion. Sleeping better, that's a whole discussion.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
done.
Neil, you got your hand up?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
My mic working? Okay.
Yeah, you sound great.
All right. Just got home. Um, yeah, I actually have two responses to two of the questions that you asked. So response number one, potentially, why not to have a free forever community? And I do have a free forever community, so I'm not hating on it.
Yeah, devil's
But
advocate, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
if the free community is attracting the wrong people, that's a reason not to have a free community.
Great point. And I've had those communities too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great point.
And then and as far as like people don't read courses, people summarize and then don't read the summaries. That's absolutely true. And that's happening with videos, with Gemini being built into YouTube now. They want implementation.
Dude,
And
Neil, yes. They
so
say in a gold rush, sell shovels. In a gold rush now, sell digging. Yes.
yeah. Steve, you're just saying that you have a tool that helps people sleep better. That's the thing to sell, not the course. The course is the bonus. Say, by the way, this is why all this shit works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like a story, say Cole, for example, the martial arts guy. I used
Chris
to train with him.
Casamassa?
Hey?
Is that Chris Casamassa?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the martial arts guy that comes to these calls or somebody else?
Oh, no,
He's
sorry,
got a
man. The
martial
one
arts
that's
guy.
Oh,
the
forgive me.
co-collaborator with us.
Got it.
Because we were doing work with disadvantaged kids, like bullying under year 6 in our school. So they're like under 12. And so they would come in, these ADHD, ASD kids, too scared to walk in on the rubber mats in the gym. And within 2 weeks, he's got them kicking the bag, punching, mitts and what have you. And the parents are in the corner crying because they can't believe what this stuff has done to the kids. So our course has videos that he's created to parents to adopt at home when they're trying to disrupt the shit fight in the morning that the kids might be going through. If it's just that preschool prep that gets so stressed out and hard work. So that I thank you for that. Both those comments. It's high value.
Steve, I own 50% of bully.org. I don't know if you know that, but my
Really?
my business partner does this all over the world. And again, I don't know if we're competitors or strategic partners, but he also has a certification program. So send me whatever you have on that, and I'll go put it in front of him and see if there's a way to play together there.
Bully.org.
Bully.org, spelled just like it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I bought the domain because I am a prolific bully, but he decided to turn it around, and we're now anti-bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. I've got 20 screenshots of messages from Cole yesterday for our outreach programs. So they're just gorgeous stories, like a bullied kid. There's nothing worse. I just can't.
Oh, dude, I got the piss
Yeah.
beat out of me as a kid. I'm with you. Jacob, you got your hand up?
Yeah, just a quick note on the school thing. SKOOL. I feel like I have to say that every time I'm talking to AI. It's I just found out today that they have like their top 10 earners for the school games, and they all fly out and they do their little hash out and share what's working, what's not working, stuff like that. And you can actually get access to that if you just have three paying users. So you could have like a freemium package set up where everything's free, and then you have three friends, and it's like, hey, I will buy a first and second round of beer if you'll just sign up for $1 a month, just so I have three members. And then so your community's free, but you get access to the summary and the information that was shared from that event. So it's
Oh,
highly
cool.
curated information from the top 10 earners, and then you can get access to that. I don't know what that looks like. Just learned about it today, but it might be something worth looking into.
That's brilliant. I've got it because I'm my AEO community has a paid element and I have more than three. So I'll go, where do I find that, Jacob? I'll find it. I'll track it down.
Let's see. Sorry, I was muted the whole time. I said I don't know, but I will put it in a note and I will follow up.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to make you do work either. I'm sure it's
No, it's good for
accessible.
me too. I need to this is like this looks like it would be highly curated information, which is very valuable, is the
Yeah.
curated information. So
Well, if I find it all, I don't know, whatever is within the confines of Integris, sharing the content, I imagine, is a breach of etiquette, but maybe sharing the summary of my findings, I could do that. Um, Yeah, y'all, if you don't have a community, start one right now today. Community, by the way, is biblical. Wherever two or more are gathered, like you don't need hundreds of people or thousands of people. You need five. I really mean that. Just five people that you love on. And the community value isn't going to necessarily be customer acquisition. That might be a byproduct. A byproduct could be employee acquisition, partner acquisition, just learning. But whatever niche you're in, go start that community. I really think that that's an unlock from an entrepreneurial perspective. Elliot,
Hey, yeah, I actually just wanted to follow up from the other day and apologize a little bit actually to everyone because I realized I put forward an offering of a physical business with the locksmiths, but I didn't actually say why I've always been fascinated by the business model as well and why I think it's a very interesting one. Despite the fact I'm now regularly doing quite large software deals and power brokerage deals, I keep coming back to it over and over again because of a few things. The margins on keys, cutting keys, are insane. I'm not sure many people outside of the space are aware of this, but locksmiths will typically get their key blanks in for cents or fractions of cents. And I'm sure you all know how much you've paid for
there's
keys
a
at the
couple hundred
locksmiths.
bucks, right? Like each time.
Well, it depends on the lock. The higher the security, obviously the American situation is a bit different, but it's a really fascinating thing because it's such a complex industry. I think it is kind of very defensible against automation because it's basically just a massive cluster.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing globally.
What's the
But
equipment cost? Like if I wanted to be a locksmith and I wanted to be able to do the 80/20, so I serve the 20% of the jobs that cover 80% of the market, how much am I spending on equipment?
that's exactly what I've done with the family business and what we currently do at a very low volume, but it depends on which market you're covering. But in the UK, I think we've spent like 100 grand.
Dude, it's so funny you said that. That's my minimum threshold number. If it costs less than 100 grand to get into a business, that business scares me.
Mm.
Because every white collar employee in the emerged world is about to get laid off and they all have a maxed out 401k, every single one of them, and they can borrow against it to buy or build a business. And if the business is under 100 grand, I think that falls inside of their threshold of risk. Because these aren't people with high thresholds of risks, right? Stereotypically speaking. And so every low-level franchise gets snapped right up. Those are going to be gone right away. If you want to make a mint, go get in the franchise business right now. That's already true, by the way. My business partner, Perry Belcher, knows the guy. He's the top selling franchise or expert in the world. And he's like, it's exploding at the moment for the people that see the writing on the wall. Once franchises get eaten, then it becomes the what can I DIY? And if it's under 100 grand, I keep saying this. If you don't want to compete against somebody who's got 500 bucks and a Home Depot close to them.
What
So
most of them tend to do in locksmithing is buy a van and try and be a cool out guy, though.
yeah,
And that's not where the margin is. The
where's the
margin
margin?
isn't cutting keys, and knowing how to program vehicle keys as well that dealers try to rip everyone off on. And that's a huge knowledge base.
Well,
you
that's a
know,
moat too, right? The data there.
it's the thing I like to say to people with locksmithing as well, and one of the other reasons I think it's just a very interesting industry is you walk into a decently stocked locksmith and it's like there's 20,000 keys on the wall.
Yeah.
Like there's 20,000 keys on the wall and the guy in the shop's been looking at that for 30 years.
Dude, I think that's a really interesting offer. I think somebody should take you up on it. If you went and cracked that code, man, you want to talk about just a great niche. I bet you Google it right now. There's not another. Here's the other thing too, is we always think marketing. It's not just marketing, right? It's marketing, ops, AI enablement, tech stack. Like it's the business function outside of just doing the job. We should have a little list of those that we tackle. I might do something like that inside of my soon to be newly built incubator that I'll share with you all someday. Jason, you have your hand up?
Yeah, Elliot, I think that's a great idea. Sorry, here my clock is going off about the locksmith because I always have a problem when you talk about the van guy. It's always like, sorry, we can't get to you later, and they really mean it, right? And I'm like, no, bro, I need it now. And they're like $300, right? And I'm like, done. Whenever I have to change it, but this is
How
where I
many
think
times
it's
has this happened to you, dude? You just
no,
losing
no,
your keys all the
it's with property, it's with properties and real estate because locks have
Oh,
to
of
be
course,
changed out
of
turning
course,
over
of
properties,
course. Yeah, I forgot what
right?
you do.
And that's the problem. And I'm like, I can swap a lock, but I'm not doing that. That's not the highest and best use of my
Right.
time. But you just made me think about something, Elliot, that I didn't think about, which was I was thinking more people would move to electronic locks, but I think people may run the opposite of
I
technology and
think you're right.
compromise out of fear of I'm not putting anything on my doors that could be hacked into. And that's why I'm thinking, wait a minute, the old-fashioned skeleton's key might be the way to go.
Dude, that's
Because
such a great marketing campaign, Jason. If you just waited a little while and you started marketing to people all analog everything, it's like how much access do you think and if you wanted to get real mean with it too, you could just be like what type of access to like and then you choose the whatever people we've chosen collectively to hate at the time. So how much access do the Iranians have to your house? And now it's like, oh God, I do, you know what I mean? I got cameras up everywhere and I have my e-locks and then you go sell them analog locks. That's so funny. That's a
Just
really brilliant
really
point.
quickly to add to that, I will say we've already seen that. Actually, we made the decision as a family business to actually not go digital at all, apart
Mm,
from the car key programming, because where I live, very 50% of homes, holiday homes. All of the elite guys I see, people worth hundreds of millions or billions that have a holiday home there, they've gone highly complex analog. They haven't got electronic security systems, but so it's an anecdote, but it's an interesting preference that I've seen.
yeah, that's great. I love that a lot. I would love to start building a list of businesses that we think are AI proofish. Nobody's allowed to touch septic.
floral shops.
Flora, tell me why.
So stumbled upon this one, floral shops. So we're all gonna die, right? We're all gonna die, and everybody's having a baby. You would be amazed at how much an elaborate floral arrangement costs.
Mm.
The floral shops charge you,
Oh no, I
but
believe I was in a long distance relationship for a minute. I know exactly what you're talking about. There, yeah,
yeah, but the cost of actually building those out, it's trivial if you have a floral wholesaler and even the complicated patterns. I mean, you can have a machine that cuts it, and I was like, just put flower in by like paint by color kind of a thing.
yeah,
But how many floral shops are out there?
yeah. Perry's getting into to a similar point to that I like, Jason, is it's a business that you wouldn't necessarily want to be into, but you could sell people into. Like Perry's getting into sourdough. Bread has the highest margin of any product in the world, which I didn't know that. But guess who owns all the bread companies? Private equity. Because from wheat to flour and flour to bread are two 5,000% markups. There's no other product on the planet like that. It's insane. And if you can hub and spoke that, you could take a bunch of people and sell them little bread franchises. My brother has a business. He owns a company called Rug IQ. They clean hand knotted rugs, which dips into one of Hormozy's rules, which is sell to rich people. And dude, if you spend 100 grand on a rug, you'll spend 2,500 bucks getting it clean if the dog pissed on it. And the thing that's cool about that is you can teach anybody to do it, and it takes a lot of specialized knowledge because every rug, every weave, every material, every dye, every whatever, they all take their own kind of special, here's what you're supposed to do. And there's at least 100 grand worth of infrastructure there. Yeah, this is awesome.
Carpet cleaning, another one.
Oh yeah, Joe Polish. Do you know Joe?
No, I don't, but I know carpet cleaning to get the equipment I looked at. It's only about $3,600 for if you wanted to start with a quality one, not a truck, not
Yeah.
a van with the tank and everything. But but the problem with that is, to your point, it's
Every Tom,
easy
Dick, and
to.
Harry someday, dude.
Yep,
Yeah,
every some bitch can get into that
yeah,
line there.
yeah. We're gonna see what happens there. All right, y'all. I got 5 minutes left. How do we make it the most productive 5 minutes of our lives, Jacob?
Yeah, do we have some kind of like brokerage site or a site where we all have our information in? Did we do that before?
Yeah, Grant built it.
Grant, where is that? I'm sorry, because I just wanted to say that like well, first of all, sometimes when we're talking about stuff, like you just said the bread thing, my brain just went completely mental just thinking through everything. So I just daydream. But yeah, I was thinking about that is like if we could have a place, because I think like Grant is known for the Notebook LM. Actually, I was using Notebook LM today and I was like, hey, it made me think of Grant. So I messaged Grant, and that's why I said the message. So just thinking like if we all have our things that we put in that are valuable, that are unique to us, having a place like that. So it looks like there it is, council site. Okay, maybe did we do that a couple weeks ago? Is that why I'm missing it? I need to favorite this.
Yeah, we need to just slap a domain name on it. Um, which I'll pay for a grant, but you'll still own this. I'll just give you the DNS. Or you buy it and I give you 15 bucks.
Yeah, that works.
Do whatever you want to do. Let me know how to Zelle you or Venmo you the money.
Okay.
But this is awesome, dude. It'd be fun if we continued to kind of like build into this. So we have the directory and then we have like I think it'd be cool to have a bounty, like a bounty processor idea where, there's just ideas that people can take and run with. Um,
Well, what I was thinking is would there be a way to where if I have valuable information to put into something, I could upload a feed like, hey guys, found this out today, right? And it's like not like just anything, but like highly valuable content around what you do. Like for me, I'm focusing on AI automation. So I would talk more about that, right? And I could put in something like, hey guys, here's something from Jacob. So if like you wanted to find something valuable about AI automation, you would come to me. If you wanted to know something about Notebook LM, you would go to Grant, like that kind of thing.
100, do I think what we can do, the dumb way to do it, which is the way I do everything, is we do what the WhatsApp group. But Dylan asked, he's like, hey, can I get my own thread in WhatsApp? And I was like, yes, you absolutely can. And then I thought that was actually super valuable. So if you had, in the Daily Sigh right now, we've got Agent Council, which I think Dylan was running. So if you wanted to do something like Agentic or whatever, then we could add that too. It'll get a little overwhelming, so there might be some consolidation, but I don't mind expansion than contraction. I think that's okay too, because you start to see where people's interests lie, and then we can come up with a more sophisticated solution from there. Does that feel
I
like
think
a
you can
solve,
make
Jacob?
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody who just said that you could post in the school group. Dylan said that. Yeah, so if I had like my school, and if you're like, I want to know more about AI automation for service businesses in particular, which is something I started on the school group, you could come to me for that. If you wanted to if you want to know more about Notebook LM, you would go to Grant. If you want to know more about like coding and stuff like that, you would go to Dylan. Like, so it's like just like a hub, like a resource link, almost like a link. Like what? Like I need this. I'll click on
There's
this
the
link.
white
Next thing,
pages. I think that goes
yeah,
into Grant's thing, and then it's like, oh, I need to be a more empathic founder, Deborah. Oh, I need to, like Clinton's working
right.
on this. Yeah, I think we have like our tendrils. Yeah, we have to find a way to update this without drawing down on Grant time, though. Grant, if there's a way to vibe code like an admin panel or user rights administration, or if you want to,
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
well,
Yeah.
I can throw an EA at it too. I'm not asking you to do that. I want to be really careful about the ask there because you are already so kind in just popping this up.
I
Let
mean,
me know
keep
how to
on
do that.
feeding it ideas because it takes no time for me. I just tell what you guys want and then basically give it to Claude.
Yeah, I think user rights would be cool because then everybody can update their own profiles and you don't have to mess with it. Um,
That's great.
yeah, that's a good start. Dylan, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I think we can make our own channels in the WhatsApp group. I don't think you have to make them for us. I haven't
Me either.
confirmed that yet, but I saw a button, unless it's just me. Selfishly, I want another channel where I can talk about I can get in the weeds without bothering people in the main channel and talk about more.
Oh, dude, you're right. It says who can add new members? Everyone. Who can add new groups? Everyone. I love that. I'd say have at it. And then I've had one issue one time with somebody coming in that I didn't like. And that seems to have resolved itself. But for otherwise, everybody that's shown up, I've loved and would love their input and love their participation. And then if we ever need to put guardrails around that, we absolutely can.
I was gonna say if it helps, I do have Supabase and I can open up a Supabase backend. Basically, that's like the backend for user authentication and authorization. So like you can have a password and log in. And then I could put something on GitHub. I guess I mean because I haven't really built anything for the group yet. Maybe I could work with. I'm not trying to volunteer Dylan, but Dylan could consult me on it because he knows a lot about this stuff and I've built it myself. But yeah, maybe just something that's just a dashboard that doesn't fill up at all. It just has like resources like, hey, here is so and so's thing. Click on the link, it takes you to their resources. Here is so and so thing. So that way we have like a directory, like you said, the white pages. So you could call it the council pages or something. I don't know.
The council pages. That's a great name. I like that a lot. Dylan?
Yeah, I did have an actual thing. It is kind of short, but it will be a change of
Go for it.
change of okay.
Yeah.
So I was thinking while I was in my effort to torpedo Qasim's framework, I had an idea that I looked into. So don't take this as like exact science, but it just conceptually this is kind of important to know. So like all of the models say they have a 1 million token context window, but that is bullshit. And people are starting to find that out. And you probably shouldn't use more than 40% of your context window. And people tend to think more context is better. But what Alan was saying is that it needs to be a focused context. And with what are they called? Transformer. The current models work on transformers. They have something called attention. We don't know what it is for the frontier models, but for open source models, we do. So this model I looked at had a 128,000 token context window. Guess how much its attention is?
10% of that.
0.1% of that.
Oh
It is
my
a
God.
128 token attention window.
Is that the same thing as like RAM and storage, basically?
I am somewhat shocked that yes. Yeah.
Boom! Nailed it.
Yeah, but so like it's not like the attention window can move. It's not like it looks at this thing and that's all it can possibly look at, but that is as much as it can look at one time. Um, but it's also not this like remember Alan said it's a three-dimensional vector space, which is better described as a block of marble. Like it's not linear. It's not a ticker tape. It's three-dimensional and it can like see that's what I like told the AI like why did I and I say this every time. Why did I think this was so simple? They need to start giving things more complicated names. Attention is not nearly complicated enough. So yeah, like you need to have a focused context. You can't just load up a bunch of documents in and say the answer is somewhere in here. Like if the answer is in a particular pair, like you can have them all in your, if you're using a directory and not using the chat window, you can have them all in there. But if the answer is in a paragraph, give it the paragraph or tell it what the paragraph is. It Yeah, because I think we all know now that the context is the most important lever to pull right now. Um, but knowing how to use the context most effectively is important.
So I'm on all my favorite domain name sites, which is how I think. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is good. So this is the thing. Context is the most important unlock at the moment. Might not always be, but it is at the moment. Which is what I was trying to tackle with first principles, and I obviously massively over-engineered that. But what if we did just create something that allows somebody to come in and in plain language describe what it is they're trying to do, is prompted through a system, a series of queries that allows the system to identify and extract the most important context, not just for the goal, but also for whatever utilities they're approaching, and then gives them that context back. That feels like maybe the most important tool for the Luddites at the moment? Agree, disagree? And actually really easy to build?
The brainstorm skill in the superpowers is kind of like that, but not exactly. But I think what you're describing is not bad, and that like part of what your thing that was unique is giving context about yourself, not just about the problem and the like organization or situation. I think that that was a significant, but that it would it would be better with shorter words and
Yeah.
possibly structured language, like have it in YAML or JSON or well, Markdown is obvious, but that's more prose focused as opposed to JSON, which is like structured. Uh, but yeah, I yeah,
Why don't we build this together?
because collaboration is very difficult.
For who?
I don't know. I have gotten zero contributions to the council app that I made for the council.
No, I just mean you and me. Screw everybody else. I like that you've really had a lot of energy around this, and I'd be wide open to partnering on it in whatever capacity. You could be 99 and I could be 1. My preference is 50-50, but you tell me what works for you.
Yeah,
Oh, hold
I'm
on, there's somebody at my door. Give me just a second.
we can talk. Clinton, you were for sure here. And Deborah, you too. We talked about this. It's a or
Where?
plugin. Did I call it an app? It's a plugin. It's a
Yeah, you
Claude
called it
plugin.
an app. Where's it at?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, the
Claude
plugin.
plugin.
Okay.
I'll share it again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yes, thank you.
I think the marketing might not. I'm like, he did. I'd be happy to lend a hand however I can. So
Yeah, you guys should be using it. It's actually pretty helpful.
What is
Dylan,
this? What Dylan made?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Dylan
this
Noodle on it, dude. Message me. You know how to find me. Jacob, you got your hand up, and then I have to go.
Yeah, so sorry guys, I pretty much wasted your time by asking all these questions, and here it was. Grant has everything, like he has everything. All right, Grant's fast on it. Yeah, Grant is incredibly quick on it. So everything he has is there. Like that's it. So I didn't mean to step on any toes. I was actually trying to contribute and actually just wasted time. But I will say if this site that he has can be posted into the WhatsApp group and then pinned, if you could pin that message, I believe if it's anything like GroupMe, it should stay at the top. So that
Yeah.
way
Grant,
we
go
always.
throw any name at it so it's a real domain because I think that's preferable for me. And then I'll do exactly what Jacob just said. I'll pin it in the main thing and drop it in the announcements. So it'll be in the main thread of the announcements. I think that's a great, great call. Councilpages.co, dude. How do you do this so quickly? You're amazing.
So I'm not talking the whole time.
That's so funny. All right, done. Done data. I'm doing this right now, Jacob. I have to go learn how to pin inside of WhatsApp. Y'all, I thought this was one of my favorite calls so far. I got so much out of so much. Thank you for all of that. How do you guys feel?
Still my favorite call of the day.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
All right,
I look
let's
forward to
keep
this
that
every
going.
day.
I do too. I love it a lot. I reference it a lot. Me and Neil were talking about it at Driven a bunch of times. Grant, you got some shout outs just so you know. Um, okay, I just pinned it, but it makes me assign a expiration date, just FYI. So I did 30 days, which is the longest, and I also put it in the community announcements. And that's pinned there too. Uh, also for 30 days. Let's keep building stuff. I don't even care if it doesn't make money. Like if we just build stuff that helps people, like what a what a horrible outcome that would be. Uh, what am I doing? Anything else to say? Last words before I do my little sign off thing? We feel good. If you're watching this live and you want to join us, you can always go to dailysigh.ai and join my free forever community. You'll find the Zoom link in the calendar. If you want a summary of these calls sent to you daily and or weekly, go to dailysigh.ai. For the council members, don't forget to join the WhatsApp group. I think everybody here is on it, so I won't drop the link. But there's a ton of stuff going on inside of WhatsApp. Feel free to create your own groups. Go as far afield as you want. I'd rather you ask forgiveness than permission, personally, is the way that I feel about things. I'd love to build things together, collaborate together. If you have more ideas or opportunities to do that, please bring them to the table. Deborah said collaboration is hard. Absolutely not. So it sounds like Deborah might be able to lead some of that or at least be the facilitator. I go live every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern. I hope that y'all tune in wherever it is that you happen to be. Hope everybody has a great weekend. My son's birthday party is tomorrow. I'm going to have 50 8 and 10-year-olds back there with Nerf guns. I arm them with single shot Nerf guns, and then I get myself a fully automatic and I mow them down. It's cathartic for me. So I'm going to have a great, great weekend, and I'll see y'all.